I'm Tevlev, and today we're ranking all the major Link designs with a couple extras along the way. We're judging their appearance based on how well they embody the character of Link. Now that's kind of a tricky thing to narrow down. Everybody has a different interpretation. And we're also including his major transformations as well. The artwork from the original Legend of Zelda on NES. It's Link in his purest form, in a certain way. Just a little kid on an adventure promoting the good word of Christ. He's got the retro yellowish band on his hat. It's kind of cool. His tunic also looks like a dress. He's adventuring around in a little mini skirt. But he's short enough where he's not showing off a lot of leg. It's not distracting, as it might get later. Yeah, he's a little guy. As you can clearly see, he is the little guy character archetype. But I feel like that also makes him kind of teetering on being a little twerp. If he were to speak, he would sound like, "Come on, guys, let's go show that Ganon who's boss, who's with me." Tell me I'm wrong, so that's why he gets a C+. Here's more artwork from the first game, and he's taller, he's cooler, he's not as cute. So, as you could guess, this was the American artwork. You know how they like to do that back then? This was used in, like, the instruction manual. And this artwork is cool. He's got all the equipment from the first game, but that's the art specifically. Let's not look at that. Let's look at the whole design. Well, there's a side effect of making him taller, in that his skirt gets shorter, which is, like, more obviously like a guy wearing a tunic without pants. It's not a skirt. It's not a dress. It's a tunic without pants. You can wear a dress all you want, buddy, but it just looks like unbalanced. So does the coolness outweigh the twerpness, and how does that work? It gets a C+ as well. I don't know. Last artwork from the first game. He's cute beyond words. I mean, look at him. Not a twerp at all, B-. And now the sprite. This is a little hard to rank. Definitely limited. You know, 8-bit is an art form. It's an art medium. So the thing I always notice here is this bright green eyes and his jaundiced skin. Like, it's iconic. Don't get me wrong, but we're not trying to rank iconicness today, because that's not how these tier lists work. And you're going to hate me, but I think this sprite kind of fails to capture what he's supposed to be. You know, I would love to see an artist's interpretation of this sprite. If they don't know anything about Zelda or anything, they just look at this and you say, draw what you think this is. The front-facing one, you would get something totally different. What is that supposed to be? Is that a Bible he's holding? He gets a C-. He gets a C-. He's limited, but he can't help it. I know he can't help it. I don't know. It kind of feels like if an art critic walked into a cave and judged all the cave paintings. You know, oh, that's bad. That's trash. That's derivative. I don't feel good about it, but he gets a C-.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Yeah, we're not just doing the games here, okay? This is the cartoon. It was part of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show or something. They had a couple special Zelda episodes. And yeah, it's a very infamous iteration of Link. We're not judging him based on his personality or the actions in the show, just by how he looks. Because how he is in the show, he's like a total dick shit.
Looking good, princess. Especially from this angle.
Just look at his face. I think we all know a kid from our childhood who looks like this. He's the type of kid who'd throw rocks at you at recess, and you'd go over to hit him or something, and then he would fall on the ground, writhing around, squealing. He's gonna hit me, and he tells on you, and you get in trouble. That's this guy. And there's a lameness to him. I think it's because of his desk job style collar. Like, not a swashbuckling pirate collar, but he's got a nerdy one. Got that stupid beanie too, and his dark hair, which I'm not even against, honestly. I'm just saying this is a very odd direction for Link. At least he's wearing pants, but that can't save him. All the way at the bottom at D. Well, excuse me, princess. Now the Zelda 2 artwork. Hey, he grew up a little bit. Now he's got some brown tights and brown sleeves. I generally consider this an improved version of the artwork of the first game. B-. And then the sprite now. And with a few technological advancements, they were able to give him more detail. But does it speak to me? My gut is telling me C- as well. But the question is it better or worse than Zelda 1? But I think the original has a little bit of a crunchy charm.
You're a real video legend where I come from, Link.
If you watched my last video where I ranked Donkey Kong designs, you know I'm a bit of a fan of Captain N, the show. There's a lot of weird appearances in Captain N.
I couldn't have planned it better myself.
But now let's look at Link. He has a mullet, And that's awesome. He's really, really cool to me. What were they cooking over there? If you disagree with me, that's fine. I get it, but let me have this. His outfit is more or less the same. He has shoulder pads. His eyes are so determined, and he's just generally very handsome, or very serious. And I think it's supposed to be the same exact Link from the cartoon, if you can believe that. Same voice actor and everything.
Pulled a muscle dodging boomerangs. Goes with the territory, you know.
The difference is crazy, and it's kind of inspiring that it's the same guy, because maybe that means one day I'll turn into a man like that. Guess where I'm going to put this? I'm putting it in A+. I love it. A link to his pants snapped off, and now we might catch a glimpse of his pendants of power. It's so short, and it looks even weirder because he has long sleeves. It just looks like he's not ready getting dressed in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Aside from that, it's just a classic Link design, very 90s styled, but it's just so distracting. That skirt is so short. But the issue isn't that that's what he's wearing. It just doesn't feel like the design's based around it. It's unbalanced. So we're putting this one in C+. And there's the Game Boy Advance version, and it's a little redundant. Where do you think it's going to go? Well, probably pretty close to the original, because it's basically the same thing. What is there even more to say? You can see he's touched up a little, digital art style. The old one looks like it was drawn with a pencil, right, guys? So really, I'm just bringing this up to make a point. You know, I'm not going to be ranking every little variation of everything. I want to hit the major ones. I want to hit the different ones, all right? So I won't be ranking Ocarina of Time differently than Smash Bros. Melee or Soul Calibur 2. I'm sorry. They're about the same. I'd rank them about the same. Are you bored yet? And we're just aiming to do the one main design from each game, unless it's a transformation, because we don't have time to do like 500 costumes. Put that there. And now the sprite for A Link to the Past. If you look closely, you may notice a little inaccuracy. His hair is completely the wrong color because it's bright pink. Why did they do that? Well, if you look it up to try to find the answer, you'll see people saying that the color palette is limited. So Link's sprite has to share some data with the Bunny Link sprite, so they have to make his hair pink. So I guess that would mean Nintendo saw this glaring error and they're just like, oh, that's fine, just leave it like that. Who cares if it's wrong? No, that's not true. Look, he has yellow and brown on his sprite. They could have done it if they wanted to. It's not even the same pink. It's a slightly different pink color. To this day, you see a bunch of, actually, it's because of the color palette. Anyway, maybe it's a reference to the Zelda 2 manga, where he has pink hair. And guess what? He looks kind of cool here. I like the colors. See, I think there's a reason both of these Links have pink hair. It's just to make it pop out, to give more contrast. They could have picked any bright color, but they picked pink, and maybe that's what made it a reference to the manga. Maybe there are some points in the game where Link is hard to see because he's green on a green background on an old TV. But really? Like, they didn't give him like a white outline or anything? Like, your solution is to make him have pink hair? Well, I have a better idea. Give him 3 giant red arrows and text that says, "You are here." That way you'll never get lost. It's for the sake of readability. I've kind of been ranting, but I haven't even got to the reviewing part. You know, and I just want to say the pink hair is fine, but they have to actually make him have pink hair. It just feels kind of random. Link already has like this weird assortment of colors, so adding pink onto it is even weirder. The pink hair is my smallest complaint. My biggest complaint actually is the hat and the tunic are different colors. They're different greens. Why did they do that? That bothers me. Just in general, I feel like the sprite's very chunky but flat looking. It doesn't have a lot of shading. Compare it to Minish Cap, which is what you would think Link would look like in this style. Or even other Super Nintendo games, they were able to make the sprites pop out organically. Now let's hold on a second. I know what you might be thinking. Tevlev, you are an idiot. That's not a fair comparison because you're comparing things that are later on when they were able to learn how to harness the power of 16-bit graphics and pixel art, you know? Yes, when they were making A Link to the Past, they literally had to figure all this out. Not only how it looks, but how it works. And that's a big testament to the skill and artistry of Nintendo at the time, right? But guess what, buddy? We're not ranking testaments. We're ranking pixel art. Think of it this way. If you're learning how to cook, and you suddenly have to make a souffle, that's a pretty hard thing to make, and that's your first dish that you have to prepare. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have flaws, and it's not going to be good. Maybe it'll have its own charm in its own way. But then, years later, after you've mastered cooking and now you're a chef, you make a souffle, it's going to be good. We're not ranking iconicness. Okay, so you can go ahead and sit down for me. So yeah, they had limited tools and knowledge to work with. But is that an excuse to make the hat and the tunic different colors? I don't think so. That gets a D. Bunny Link. So this is the form that he gets when he enters the Dark World. And yes, we are doing alternate forms for this ranking, but only the major ones, you know. I know in some of the Game Boy games he can turn into a Moblin and a Like and Fairy Link, but that's not really Link. We're doing the major ones, so I'm very charmed by him. So we're putting him in B-. B-. He's very cute and cuddly. And oh, he's all pink too. Maybe he should have just been a pink bunny the entire game, you know, for readability so we can see him on the screen. The Game Boy sprites, they have some life in them that the original NES game didn't have. You know, these are definitely a little bit more sentient looking, so they're going in B-.
Lucky shot. Golly.
Link from the Philips CDI games. This is an officially licensed game, don't forget. If you look past the fever dream, drug trip aesthetics, there's actually some interesting stuff going on here. And when it comes to this Link design, I actually really like it. I really like this. I'm just kidding. But he does kind of look decent from far away, but that's not really a sign of a good design. If anybody said that about how I look, I would be very... Well, I'd be cool about it because I'm a cool guy. Anyway, the problem with this Link is the little details and the big broad strokes. It's the eyes. The eyes are all wrong. The hair is insane, and everything's just stretched out and weird. And unsurprisingly, yes, it's going to go in D. A little bit above the cartoon, though, because at least this Link brings me some joy when I look at it. I don't like this one too much. It's very disturbing to me. You know what's crazy? We're actually going to put this above A Link to the Past sprite because at least this one got the hair right and the hat. So after the Philips CDI games, the next home console Link was an Ocarina of Time, and they made some pretty big changes, bigger than some people realize. Now he has a white undershirt, a chest strap, earrings, and gauntlets. And yeah, Link didn't wear gloves before this, which is kind of interesting. And no more yellow strip on his hat. And I think that was a good change too, because his hair is already yellow now. So it didn't make sense for a yellow stripe to be next to his yellow hair. This was back when his hair was a little bit more darker blonde or brown, you know? And speaking of his hair, he now has a middle part.
Which was the style at the time.
And even his hair sideburn things are also way shorter. You look at past designs, they're long. That was kind of iconic to Link. There was a couple things that they changed, even outside of how he looks, you know, like his beam sword. They took that away from him, and that's like his most iconic move. I wonder if people were mad back then on the internet, on the forums. He also has a collar, but not the lame desk job collar, but it looks loose and cool. You know, he has it flattened down. Young Link is also here, and he's got no sleeves on his arms or legs, which is the better way to do it. I don't like the top heaviness of having sleeves but no pants. He's designed to be the younger version, but I don't want to play as some kid. I'm a man. Even when I was a kid, I wanted to play as the man. But adult Link is such a good version. It's not even funny, but it's missing some of the cartoonish exaggerations that I did like, such as the sideburns. A+ for adult Link, and you know, I think we're gonna put him in C+. All right, again, he doesn't wear pants. I just don't want to risk catching a glimpse of his sacred stones. I also want to say, when it comes to the in-game models, this is around the time where the artwork and the in-game models are sharing the same artistic vision, or at least my opinion of them is not very different. So keep that in mind when I rank these. The artwork of Oracles of Ages and Seasons. See, it is a little different than it looks in-game, so this is one of the last ones we'll rank separately. But this is a pretty typical Link design, but now they've taken a couple aspects of the Ocarina of Time look, like the white tights. I have a little complaint about it. It's a dark, solid color on top and then a light color on the bottom. It just makes him look a little unbalanced, a little top heavy. Just make him have short sleeves, honestly. Yeah, but despite all that, it's fine. I would say this is a B+ for sure. I know I just said I wasn't gonna rank every variation of the Ocarina of Time design, but this one stands out. This is totally different. Plus, I mentioned this in my last video, so I really feel like talking about it now. Despite the very stark contrast from Ocarina of Time, it's kind of cute. I used to be off-put by it, but he's kind of cute. He gets a B-. Now we're up to Majora's Mask. Okay, let's go over these three together. These are the masks that Link uses to impersonate some recently deceased people. Most of the game has Link living in another man's skin, speaking for him, pretending to be him in front of their friends and loved ones. Isn't that, like, crazy? So obviously they are dramatically different from regular Link, but they still have little inspirations. They got the green clothes, the big boots, and the gloves, even though Link doesn't wear gloves in this game. Zora Link, for example, he got a little creative here. Obviously that big head fin is supposed to be his hat, but even these little twiddly-toos on his head, they're yellowish, and that's supposed to be his hair. And then Deku Link, he's a very sad, tragic-looking character. It looks like he has 1,000 stories written on his face. I was like, what's this guy's deal? He's very interesting and mysterious, and that's compelling to me. And his hat is super oversized, and that's good. I like that. And then Goron Link is a Goron dressed as Link. It's kind of funny. He doesn't even have blonde hair. He just looks like a Goron. Zora gets a B+. And then Goron Link is slightly below that, even though I do tend to be more of a fan of Gorons. But he's not adapting the Link design very well. And then Deku Link is up there. I enjoy the sadness. Young Link in Majora's Mask, I would say. I feel the exact same. He's a C+. He doesn't wear pants like a freak. We did forget one of the transformations, though. Can you guess which one it is? That's right. It's Fierce Deity Link. Yeah, good job. I feel like when Nintendo tasked this artist, they said, hey, there's this Link design we need. He's supposed to be the most powerful dude. He's mysterious and awesome. And he's 8 feet tall. And he's like a demon god or some shit. Do you think you can draw that up for us or something? But don't make him too cool, because we still want him to be on brand. We don't want to make every design going forward pale in comparison, except guess what? He didn't hear that last part. He made it as cool as possible. So cool. And what does that mean? What does that look? The Triforce? The moon? What does that mean? He's so cool and mysterious. And he's getting an S tier. Yes, and that feels pretty basic of me. People are saying he's overrated, but no one's saying he's not cool. All right? There's a reason everybody likes this guy. And see, I'll admit, I have zero Majora's Mask bias. I'm not a super fan by any means. You would be surprised how much little fun I have when playing Majora's Mask. I just like Fierce Deity Link. Now we're up to the Wind Waker. This is what people call Toon Link. And I'll tell you, when I saw the trailer for Wind Waker, I cried. I actually was so offended that I wrote a letter to Nintendo, begging them, please change him. Please change him back to normal. Why does he look like that? Why does he have big cat eyes? So I want to say D, but I'll give him a little bit of a benefit and I'll put him in C- because I like his hat. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel that way at all. That was a joke. I do like this one, and I always have. Wind Waker was so important for the Zelda series because it solidified, maybe not right away, but it solidified that Zelda doesn't have one consistent art style. It could look like anything. It could look like this or that. And it helps that the sequel is drastically different as well. So if you don't like what the Zelda series is right now, just remember that Zelda's always changing. And it seems like when a new game is announced, people always say like, oh, I guess this is what Zelda's going to be like from now on. Why would this be the style that we're stuck with forever? You know what I mean? I like Toon Link, the style and everything. He's very expressive and funny, and he's not top heavy because his sleeves are green, except he is kind of top heavy because his arms are long. He looks like a chimpanzee. His pants are cool. They're like tights, but they also look kind of baggy. You know, they definitely protect us from seeing his goddess pearls. Yeah, I would say A-. He's clean and vibrant and colorful. And fun fact, guys, I finally have a place to share this, okay? The voice actress for Link actually voices another character in the Zelda franchise. Can you guess who it is? It's Skull Kid. Huh, isn't that fun? And Link's sister Aryll, and a mysterious third one that's only a theory. My last playthrough of Majora's Mask, I made it to the part in the Gerudo Pirates Fortress where you knock the beehive down and then the bees start chasing the pirates. I was like, oh my god, that's Toon Link! So there you have it. Link, Aryll, and Skull Kid, and the pirate Gerudo Pirates are voiced by the same person. This is just a nice little game theory. Go ahead and press that like button and that subscribe button. Thanks. Twilight Princess. This game is full of intricate clothing design. Like if you zoom into something, you're going to see some interesting details. But when you're zoomed out, sometimes it can look kind of over-designed, especially compared to every other game. But that's what's unique about Twilight Princess. But how did they do on his main design, his tunic? It's so good. The little details work well here, like the chainmail under his tunic, and the stitchings on the seams, and then the little extra things like embossing on his boots and gauntlets, and even his muscles. These clothes, I can imagine these existing in real life, because sometimes you take a character and then they make it into a realistic style, and it's kind of ridiculous. I'm not saying Link is realistic or the art style is realistic. It's more like dark gothic anime. But the thing I really like about this design is just that everything serves a purpose. Like, it's not cool because it's realistic, it's cool because it feels real. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, he's wearing pants. Not tights, pants. Or maybe skinny jeans because it was 2006. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, a little intermission here. I'm just checking up on you. You good? So I just want to say, just in case you're scared or confused, remember, I'm ranking the artwork and the in-game model as one because of the same artistic vision, okay? I know they're different. Let's continue. Wolf Link. Well, he's just a wolf with a shackle, but his hair looks like French fries. B-. We're putting him below the bunny. I like the bunny more. It's striking to me as opposed to the wolf. You know, maybe if it were 2007, I would have said the wolf. Oh, that's way cooler. I like the Bunny Link's whimsy. This would have been a great opportunity to bring back Bunny Link. Much like entering the Dark World for the first time, he enters the Twilight Realm, okay? And instead of turning into a cool, awesome, badass wolf, he turns into a bunny rabbit who's pink and cute. I would have loved that. And then I could actually see him on the screen, okay? Because whenever I play a Zelda game, I can't see where anything is because I can't see any pink. They should have at least made the wolf all pink. Now, here's kind of a surprising entry on this list. This is simply a theory, whether it's Link or not. He's an old, decrepit monster. He's a master of the sword. He's a wise man who teaches the new hero, Gramps, from A Link Between Worlds. All right, again, this is just a game theory, but they say that this is actually Link from A Link to the Past. All right, not confirmed, but he is an expert at using the Master Sword. He's a former adventurer, and he wears green. I personally really enjoy the idea that this could be Link and that he looks nothing like him. He looks more like Olimar than Link, but that's why I like it. Because he's old, you know, sometimes you lose all your hair and you get a bubble beard. All right, now this is actually Hero Shade. He's a ghost skeleton. The fact that this is the Hero of Time is very, very cool to me. It's very compelling and awesome. This iteration of Link has experienced so much loss and sadness, and you can see that. The fact that he is a ghost skeleton is just cool, okay? The mystery is interesting. So yes, I like the design, and it doesn't resemble Link at all, much like Gramps. But unlike Gramps, he's going in S tier because I very much like it. He's a ghost skeleton. Skyward Sword. This is a lot like the Twilight Princess design, but it's more vibrant and more worse. This lipstick-wearing, big-eyebrowed son of a bitch with his dark yellow hair. Yes, dark yellow, not dirty blonde or whatever it's supposed to be. He's got this weird, unappealing, impossible hair color. Just make it blonde or just make it brown. The style is fine, though. He also looks like he's never thinking. My gut is telling me to put him really low because of his frumpy sweatpants. You know, you're on a very important quest here, and you're here wearing your jammies. But I can't put him any lower because what's worse, wearing pajamas or wearing no pants at all? Imagine if Link just didn't wear pants in Skyward Sword. You would catch a glimpse of his skyward ball sack. We're putting that in B-. A Link Between Worlds. It's like an updated, newer version of Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I would say this is a different design, though. It's softer, friendlier looking. People to this day are still talking about this one concept art that was at like E3 or something. Like, we should have got this Link. Give it a rest, please. We're done with this. We're done with that. You got to admit that this Link fits the game a lot better. But just shut up already, please. Please be quiet about it. What am I doing? Oh, I'm making a Zelda tier list. Oh yeah, B+. A Link Between Walls. I think I'd put him here because, like, when I look at it, it's not really making me feel anything, but It is like funny that it's a wall. It looks like hieroglyphs or something. Also, it looks like the prologue to Wind Waker. That's a little fun fact for you. I'm just full of fun facts. Ask anybody, they'll say I'm full of fun facts. And also, we did end up ranking a cave painting here in B tier. Mario Kart 8. Yeah, we're doing Mario Kart, and you know, you might say this is just a Skyward Sword design. I thought you said you weren't going to double up on designs, and yet you just did several times. I'm making an exception for a reason here, okay? Because look, no sweatpants, no weird hair color. His lips are normal, and his proportions are slightly more cartoonish, so he kind of has a big head, but that's not really a good or a bad thing. But I like the way he looks. This is speaking to me. This is like an improvement over Skyward Sword. I'm putting it up here. I'm putting it up in A+. This is like what Link looks like. This is Link. His pants are a little too dark for me, but being bottom heavy is better than being top heavy. This is like fashion theory, guys. Hyrule Warriors. Very cool. It looks like Twilight Princess, but a little bit more saturation. Obviously, it has its differences, but it has pretty much all the qualities that I liked with the other designs, but they added onto it. And they kind of added a lot onto it, like the shoulder pad and the yellow trim, and the clothing even has these little details on it. It never looks busy or over-designed, but the big thing is that it has a scarf. It's kind of cool, but it doesn't feel like it was added because Link could use a scarf. It felt like they added a scarf because it was kind of arbitrarily added to him because this new game has a slightly new identity, so let's give him a slightly new look. You know what I mean? But again, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. He's got a lot of blue on him, like his gloves and the back of his boots. But I think it's evenly balanced. I'm not a color theorist or a fashion theorist, but I'm more of a game theorist. So my theory is saying that his hair looks a little too neat to me. It looks like he's going to church, so he's going all the way at the bottom of A+ tier. He's cool. I mean, he has a lot of the same qualities as the stuff I like. Didn't I say that? Are you listening? And the next one, I need to give a warning because it's pretty scary. Toon Link. But before I show it, this isn't Toon Link from Four Swords or Minish Cap or Phantom Hourglass. I'm talking about Hyrule Warriors. I have to bring this up. I have to. It feels like some duty. It's scary. When I look inside of his mouth like that, when it has this depth and shadowing in it, it makes me think that if I got really close to him, I'd be able to see his pores. Or if I look at his hands, would I see veins? It's because they're next to these detailed characters, and it makes me think, like, what if I saw this in real life and not as a style? So we're putting him in D. We're putting him there. We're putting him under A Link to the Past. Triforce Heroes. This is Toon Link, but he's been pretty pattied. I do like the colored hair. I like the way they do this more than like in Four Swords. He just has blonde hair. So this is just Toon Link, but he's colorful. So he goes in A-. I actually like the colored hair. It's a little gimmicky, but it goes in A-. Breath of the Wild. We're already here. This is the biggest design change we've seen. No hat and no green. So why the color change? Probably because if he were green, he would blend into the green grass. So if he's blue, he would stand out more. If they wanted him to stand out, just make his hair pink. Duh, we learned this. And I'm not the biggest fan of the champion tunic. It feels like it's missing things. I guess a hat. But it also has like unnecessary detail as well. Like it has the white trim, which isn't bad. But then you have like these weird patterns on his arms. Like why orange? It's just unneeded noise. So we're going to put it in A-. I like the face and the hair. I like the length of the hair. Link's Awakening HD. I love this little chibi version. It looks like a dog toy. Isn't that cute? I'm being serious. How could you not like it? It does have brown sleeves. I know it has brown sleeves, but it's also very small, so it doesn't feel top heavy. I just think he's cute, and I'm going to put him all the way up in A-. Right there. I'll mention Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Technically, that's a new game, and technically, his design by default is the champion tunic, but I would rank that. I would rank that here. It's the same thing, you know. So, but I'm not even going to put that on the list. But I am going to talk about it. But I just wanted to bring it up. Cadence of Hyrule. This returns to a more classic look. Even got that cross stitching on the collar. But look at it. If you thought I was nitpicking before, which I was about the brown sleeves and the top heaviness, now you can see this is top heavy for sure. You can't argue that. But it's not the end of the world. He also has baggy pants, which is the end of the world. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't bother me. He's a little stumpier and shorter, and he's a cuter design. But I actually, I like this one. Either way, we're going to put it in B-. But the sprite is fire. We're putting that in B+. Now we're at Tears of the Kingdom. This is a big improvement over the original champion's tunic. It still doesn't have a hat, but it does have a hood, and that's kind of cool. It doesn't have those unnecessary orange noisiness on the sleeves. Now it's just black. This looks like what an adventurer would wear. I like the arm, the Zonai arm and everything. Big fan. A+. A+. It would be right here if I had a hat. That's the complete tier list, except no, it's not. I have a bonus. Okay, I'm going to bend my rules again. Tears of the Kingdom Archaic Armor Set. I have to make this one known. It has no hat and no pants. And they did it. They made it really good. That's an S tier. It doesn't look like he's not ready getting dressed. He looks like a Greek god, and he has this cool arm, dude. Long hair. That's very cool. I like this length of hair on Link. I mean, look at Captain N. He's got a mullet, and I love it. It's very good. It's very, very good. Thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment for the link that I forgot to include, right? Because the only reason I would not include something is if I forgot. It just slipped my mind. Oh, you forgot Girl Link from some obscure Japanese magazine from 1986. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. You'll get my sincerest apologies in the mail here soon. And I know I've been clowning in this video, but the important thing is we all like Zelda. That's why we're all here. All right. This is all just an excuse to talk about a game series that we like, you know, my perspective and your perspective. So I just made this video because I like Link and the Zelda series, and the ranking, that's just an excuse to talk about our favorite friend Link, you know. So think about that before you call me a stupid fucking piece of shit because I don't like A Link to the Past, to Sprite or something. Anyway, this is Tevlev. Hoping you have a great day, and bye-bye.